to you and welcome to Book Club Corner. Today it's just a gorgeous day in beautiful Tobago. I tell you, the weather is simply just as I love it. A little overcast, a little bit of sun, and a little bit of rain. So we cool and we sweet today. We just relaxing and chilling. And thank you for tuning in with us today on Book Club Corner as we speak to local authors about their love for the written word, about their books, and about the literary arts in Trinidad and Tobago. And today we have with us a returning author. He was here with us before. He didn't get to finish, so we brought him back. And he is here with us to go through some sweet parts of Tobago, some old, something new, something blue, right? And we have with us Mr. Clement Williams. Good morning, Mr. Williams. How are you?
I'm okay. Good morning, Ms. Jewel.
And Mr. Williams is a very accomplished photojournalist. And let's talk about his accomplishments today. Let me tell you, he's a renowned Guyanese Tobagonian photojournalist. He's one of the directors of the Tobago Writers Guild Publishing House Limited. He's an author of the Vintage Images of Tobago. He's the co-author of the Disney film Heritage of Tobago, The Swiss Family Robinson. And he teaches on a photography class as well.
At Community Events, and I was teaching at UE.
Right. So he's listen, if you want photography, tutelage and tips, check Mr. Williams. He's very, very versed in that. But today we're going to be talking about his book, Vintage Images, because we didn't get to go through it. But before we do that, I have to shout out my sister, my little sister, Crystal. And I say little, but she's not little anymore, right? Thank you, Crystal, for outfitting me. This is one of the summer kimonos. It's straight from Japan. She's in Japan right now. Thank you, Crystal, for giving me this awesome outfit. Let me see if I could show it off. It has these wonderful wing sleeves. It's a summer kimono from Japan. Really cute. Thank you, Crystal, always looking out for me and holding me down. But before we get into Mr. Williams's book, Mr. Williams, you know how we do it on Book Club Corner. We got to take a little, for the stomach's sake, right?
Okay, thank you very much.
And we have with us today this awesome, let me tell you, sorrel passion fruit from Joe Field. Thank you, Joe Field. Thank you very much for this libation today. And we're going to be doing the 5 S's of wine tasting. We're going to see the wine, and that's looking at the clarity of the wine. And this is a blush wine. Then we swirl the wine because we're looking for the legs, right? I'm not seeing a lot of legs, just the way I like it. And then we sniff the wine. It has a lot of fruity notes. And then we sip and we savor. It's tasting a lot of the passion fruit, which I really, really love. Thank you, Joe Field, for that. This is a nice one, guys. Get this one. It's a medium dry, a little on the sweet side. And let me tell you how much percentage alcohol it is. This is 12%. So 12% alcohol, guys. Let's get into this book before our time runs away with us. Mr. Williams, your book, Vintage Images of Tobago. Give us a bit into the book. And can I see a copy of your book there? Tell us why you decided to write a book called Vintage Images of Tobago.
It came about years ago, looking at the history of Tobago and checking the libraries to see if there's any documentation on the architecture of Tobago of old and anything that the young people today is not acquainted with.
Mm-hmm.
And so over the years, I've taken photographs. I've had a friend by the name of Old James, who we all belong to a book club, a photography club, sorry. And we used to come to Scarborough at the beginning of every year to take pictures of Scarborough and environs. And so we had images stockpiling over the years. And I've decided in 2009 or something like that to get pictures together. And I put the pictures together I sent it to Shutterfly to copyright the pictures in a book. And then afterwards, on the insistence of two Tobagonians, or three Tobagonians really, the late Frank Lawrence and the late curator at the museum, I forget his name, but they told me to put it together and show Mr. Hernandez from the museum.
Okay. Yes.
And they encouraged me to put it together and do a book. But it took some time. They will have to go and do some more research to get the written aspect of it.
Yes.
And so with Mr. Raul Titus, late Raul Titus, Axbach,
Yes.
and the late Ivor Alum, who wrote the preface for the book.
Right.
We all collaborated together to get this book out. So it came out in 2020 during the pandemic. And it's such a thing that it was launched on February 2020. And by December 2020, majority of books was, nearly all the books were sold out. And most of the purchasers were overseas,
Right.
Tobagonians and Trinidadians, Americans.
Guys, this is a perfect coffee
And one
table
copy went even to
book.
Australia.
Yeah, this is a perfect coffee table book, right? If you don't have a copy of Vintage Images of Tobago, you need to get one. If you're in the diaspora, if you're leaving Tobago, it's a really good souvenir book as well because, you know, you see the pictures. Now, I don't know why they think adults don't like to see pictures. I love to see pictures, right? So this is a picture book for adults, right? Where we get to look at all the nice pictures about the Tobago that was yesteryear, right? And then we come back to present day. So let's get into your slideshow, your presentation
Okay,
for today, because we don't want to miss anything. So could you all put it up on screen? Let's get into it.
Okay, this.
Right. So this is where we stopped. We stopped around here last time.
This
So
is the
tell
church.
us this.
This is the Scarborough Methodist Church, which is on the main street. Used to go to Chapel Hill, and we have a photograph of the old church and the new one. If you see the church, the old one was 1884, I think, 1834. Constructed, but the top was blown out by hurricane. So you see the old one was black and white, was taller than the new one. So
Yes.
the reason why is that the hurricane blew up the top. And so they had to reconstruct it and do over the roof.
Let's go on.
Right, this is the St. Andrew's Anglican Church in Scarborough. Right, and the old one going back to the 1930s, and the new one that was reconstructed after the hurricane.
Okay, fantastic. And we're moving on.
Right, we see Bacalet Street was just a track, and the Catholic Church was at the side of the road, but now we see it on top of the hill.
So let me get this straight. When you say Bacalet Road, is this the road that you would take to go
That was the old road to Bacalet.
To NIS up in there?
That is the old road, yeah.
Okay. Well.
If you look at the first building you see, it resembles their building that is right there that the Catholic Church used at the school. Look at it carefully. So that was Bacalet Street back in the days.
Yeah. And we're moving on.
Right, the blue building is where Mr. Robinson grew up, the first chairman of the THA, prime minister, and last of all, the president. That's his home on Main Street.
This is his home?
Yeah, the blue building.
Okay. Wow.
Robinson House.
Is this a heritage site?
I don't know if the THA put in there.
This should be a heritage site. This is Mr. Robinson's home.
Yeah. The next building is Weeks Building.
Okay.
And that is where Mr. Robinson had his first office as a lawyer.
Wow.
And that's the same building that Walt Disney used as the head office when they filmed the movie Swiss Family Robinson.
Ah, yes.
It is now where we have Fruit King. Is at the side of the building.
Okay. I know where. Then I know where this is. I know exactly.
So you can find out.
And there's some stores, some offices, space or something in the back, right?
There's a drugstore at the side and stuff. It was a pool hall when I came to Tobago in 1979. So it's now a drugstore. And,
I'm seeing a little Heineken sign.
Yeah.
Okay, we're moving on.
Right, this is Main Street. Back in the
Yes.
days, in 1930s, I think 1940s, and what is this today? Right, they had a drugstore, a dentist.
And this is Marad Supermarket, isn't it?
Yeah, Marriott Supermarket at the bottom.
Right. Look at that. So the street widened a bit.
It's widened a
did the
bit.
pavement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
So,
Okay, next.
right, the building, black and white building, is the Scarborough Health Center and dispensary, the water authority, the library at the back.
This building?
Yeah, the same black and white building.
Okay.
It was all of all. The public health was there also. Right?
This was multitasking?
Even CDC, the Carnival Committee, was there too.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
And fire destroyed it, right, in 1980s, and they replaced it with the PRDI building that we see now, the new structure.
Okay, next.
Okay, this is the Royal Mail House. It was a signal station. Now, they used to raise the Union flag. The Union Jack used to be raised every time the mail boat arrived. Right? It was constructed by Isaac Hope, who came from England and took up residence in Tobago.
Okay.
He was a general store merchant and he was a planter. And the thing is that he went up for election in Tobago. And every time he went up for the election, Mr. James Bigart, a Tobagonian, Afro-Tobagonian, defeated him at the polls. He never won the polls until Mr. Bigart died. Right, so Mr. Bigart is the first Afro-Tobagonian to be in the legislature that supervised the white planters.
Yes.
He's the one who was instigator of getting 2 ferries for Tobago. He instigated to have work with Bishop High School, and is the first man that demanded that Trinidad respect Tobago.
Right.
Because he had to get a license from Trinidad. They told him he had to travel to Trinidad. And he said he's not traveling to Trinidad to get no license. You have to send it for him.
So
And they did.
I'm seeing here that he was a pharmacist and he ran as an independent candidate.
Yeah,
Yes?
and he won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my. Tell you, Tobagonians be doing some great things.
Sean Bigart's-
did great things.
Sean Bigart's
continuing
relative.
to do. Yes, James Bigart.
Yeah.
And his relation, great grandson.
They're still here in Tobago.
He's in the guild.
Yeah.
He's in the Tobago Writers Guild with us. So yeah. Next slide.
Okay. This is a mailbox from 1910. It is still there. And if you look at carefully, you see the initials GR.
Yes.
That is when King George reigned in the British Empire.
So what did GR is for?
George reigned. If you look at other, there's a post box in Roxborough, which have VR in it. That's when Queen Victoria reigned. And when you look at some of the post boxes, you see ER in it. It's when Elizabeth reigned.
Well. I would have never guessed.
So when you see a post box and you see GR, you know when King George reigned in England. When you see VR, you know when Queen Victoria reigned. When you see ER, you know Queen Elizabeth is reigning at the time when the post box was established.
Right. Okay.
And before we go forward, there's a post box up by the car park by Republic Bank. That is an American post box.
Okay. I tell you, when you have colonial heritage and history, all kind of things that's turn up, huh?
And that little building you see there is the first electrical plant in Tobago.
What I had in there, turbines?
A generator to light up Scarborough.
So we're taking a quick break here. Don't go anywhere. Don't change your channel. Don't move from wherever you're watching us. Stay tuned. We'll be back in the next few minutes with Mr. Williams and his book, Vintage Images of Tobago, as we continue to have a look across Scarborough and Tobago, old and new. And we're back with Mr. Clement Williams and his book, Vintage Images of Tobago. We want to get through some of these slides because they're so important that we have a look at it. This book is literally documenting Tobago's history. So let's jump back into these slides, Mr. Williams. Okay, so let's go to the photos. Because we have some photos that you sent me, right? So we're going to get into the photos and have a look and see what's going on with some of the old time things of Tobago. So tell us
Okay.
about this. Welcome
This
to
is
Tobago.
welcome to Tobago, the old airport terminal building.
Yeah.
As you can see, visitors arriving to Tobago on the British Standing Airways. So that is what the airport used to look like long ago.
Wow.
We used to call it the cow shed.
Oh my
And those who are familiar with, that's before the cow shed.
Yes.
Right? Those are familiar that know when you're about to board the plane, you used to stand out in no seats. You used to stand in a bay.
Yes.
And when the plane is turning, the exhaust of the plane will blow dust on you, and then you'll go in the plane after.
The cow shed, totally disrespectful.
Well, over the years, you know.
Yes, we've come a long way and we still have so much, so much further to go.
Yeah.
We're doing really well as an island. Let's go to the next photo.
Old time Scarborough.
Oh.
Taxi stand, downtown Scarborough.
Where is down? So is this like where the port is now?
Where the port is now.
Really?
If you look across, you'll see the old building by Young Cow.
Okay. Look at that,
That's
guys.
how Scarborough looked long ago. So.
Wow. Let's move on.
Okay. A lot of people not know this bridge.
No.
This bridge is in Hope. When they're going into the hotel school and you look on your right, you see a remnants of a bridge by the sawmill.
It's true.
This was the bridge that you used to take to go to Charlottesville.
Oh.
You used to turn in by going into the hotel school and on the road there, and then you turn off on that bridge, and then you come back out in the main road and head for Charlottesville.
Okay.
So that was the bridge that was used, the suspension bridge.
Yes.
That is no more. You just see remnants of it. So just some history of what the roads and the bridges do in Tobago. This is the Methodist, the Moravian Church in Spring Garden, which was built on the sugar estate. Because if you look at the side, you'll see the parts of the sugar estate on the other side of it. It was a school and everything.
And this is really important. Let's just take a second, guys. So this is a church that was built on a slave plantation.
Yeah.
So that the slaves can attend church and that the slave masters can continue to tell you how you must behave well and let them do you all the wickedness in the world and stay under their
jurisdiction.
Yes, right? This is the same church they were using to do that, to keep us under subjugation. This is one of the major tools. If you're a history student, if you study the psychology of the plantation, this is one of the major tools they use to keep the slaves in line.
One thing peeved it.
They beat you Monday to Saturday and send you to church.
One thing I peeved that this building need to be refurbished and have as a historical site for visitors to pay money to see.
This would be a great museum, a great heritage site.
I think they have a piano in there that is over 100 years old.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
How you get in there? How you get in there to see this piano?
No, it is touted out that a piano is in there. So.
Oh, okay. All right, next photo.
Okay, this is the Mount Thomas Church in Lekoto. It was built after the Anglican Church in Mount Thomas Golden was destroyed by fire. So they moved the church to Lekoto and still retained the name Mount Thomas.
Is this your photo, Mr. Williams?
Yeah.
You have such a great eye. Look at the angles that you've taken. Look at the angles of the building, the way the windows are lined up with the very right and 90-degree right angles of the roof, with the guttering. I love this photo, and then this palm in the front. Next photo, please.
Whole sugar mill at Mount St. George. The last grinding mill in Tobago.
If we were to put this back together, you think it could work? It looking like something could happen.
There's a mill, there's a wheel in Goldsboro that has nearly everything. But if they could move these grinders, take it to that and establish it as a mill to show how sugar used to be processed. Right. It will be a very great tourist attraction, but leave it up to the Antiquities Division of the Tourism
Yeah,
Department.
this is fantastic. I'm just watching those those little
rollers, the
rollers there.
grinders?
Those look a little scary because let me tell you, if anything get catching
Well, that's what they used to grind the cane. So.
Yeah, but if you have to feed the cane in, right?
Yeah.
If you forget yourself, you're too tired and your hand get in there.
Well, sorry for you.
You could forget about that hand. Let's move on. Oh my gosh.
Okay, this is a depot. Long ago, the boats used to travel around Tobago and collect food stuff like peas, yam, and there was a depot they used to put them in until the boat come around. Because the boat going to Trinidad used to travel around Tobago and collect food stuff. And then go down to Trinidad.
So there were
Scarborough.
different ports.
Yes, they had one in Studley Park, they had one in Roxborough.
Right.
I know this one was where the present Bloody Bay Bloody Bay beach facility. That was there before the beach facility.
Okay, and there is a jetty in Studley Park. I think they were fixing it up.
No, we had no jetty. You know. The boat used to come, park outside, and people took small boats to take it to the boat outside.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just like in Scarborough long ago, the boat used to be outside, and they would use small boats to carry passengers out. And then the animals would swim ashore.
Somebody did some lovely artwork. I see Jalove. on the people depot. Next photo.
Okay. Long ago in the olden days, they used to use this shave ice, this container shave ice. To shave the ice, the man used to come around with a block of ice.
Yes.
And used to shave the ice, compress it, put it into a cup, and that's how we have the first snow cone. Not
Isn't
like
that
now.
Something? Well. I thought this was a construction too, but this is what they were using to shave ice.
Shave ice machine.
I tell you. All right then. Talk about automation. Yeah.
Well, I don't think
the
old people know it.
Plenty people know what this is.
They don't know. They used to pong planting.
Yeah, this is one of the things we talk about in our when we use proverbs, right? More in the mortar than just the pestle. Okay, so and today
there's an old one. That's a
still
very
use
old
it.
one.
Yes, they have modernized versions of the mortar and the pestle, but people still use this.
Yeah.
Next photo.
Well, a lantern. No electricity long ago. This was your light.
Let me tell you, people, this was an important piece of equipment in any household. You don't have this, you can't see, right? There is no light. Look at that, one lamp to the left and one lamp to the right. This is the lantern. So this is if you're fancy.
Yeah,
you get the one in front.
Yeah.
My grandmother had the one to the back where you put the oil in it, and there was the wick coming up. Yeah, we had a few. And you turn it as the wick go down. Yeah. Yes, and the sun had the whole place smoke out, you know.
That's a smoke.
Next photo, please.
This is a goblet, the old-time refrigerator. You pour your water inside the goblet, and when you're ready to use it, like the next day, it is very, very cold.
Why is it cold?
I don't know. I can't explain it.
Wait, so you just put water in it, rest it somewhere,
yeah, and then next day, I drank water from my grandparents, so I know about it.
So, and the water was really cold.
Cold water, drinking cold water. That's how the people that drink cold water long ago, not refrigerated water. Cold water.
Well, I could do with some of this because that electricity bill. Let me tell you, just now we'll have to go back to this goblet. If anybody has a goblet out there and you're willing to part with it, with these electricity rates that come in, get your goblet out, just dust it off. Yeah. Could we have the next photo?
You could get them in Guyana and Jamaica and Barbados. Yeah. Now, long ago, there was no outside toilet. So these had to use these indoors until morning to take them out to the outside toilet. So this was your bed chamber, the chamber pot at nights.
My grandmother, every bed in my grandmother's house.
Long ago, every bed had one. Yeah.
And I used to be so grateful for it as a child because you do not want to go looking for that toilet when you want to pee.
No, that's it.
Yeah, because my grandmother's bathroom was downstairs, so you'd have to get up out your bed in the dark, trek through the house, go downstairs. Lord have his mercy. Thank God. And they call this a posy?
Posy or chamber pot?
Yeah, people, Listen, we had a neighbor, we used to call him Posey. That was his
Okay,
nickname.
okay.
I didn't know as a child. So we used to be hollering out loud, loud, loud by my grandmother,
That's it.
Posey, Posey. Until he realized one day, okay, well, this is now working out. He's trying calling me Posey for everybody to hear. But this is what they call a Posey,
Yeah.
Right now, people use these for carnival. They drink out it. They buy them to go to carnival and fet with them, put in the alcohol in it. Yeah, for Juve.
And that was the old time days of the prison toilet.
So that bucket was for the other parts.
Yeah.
The number 1 and 2. Okay, next photo.
This is a trap, animal trap.
Mm-hmm.
Trap animals.
Okay. So this is an animal trap for any particular type of animal?
Put animals, catching wild animals.
Okay.
Wildlife.
Not rat in your house, right?
No, they're too big for that.
Just checking. I'm just checking. It looks very effective.
Yeah.
So if you're having a wild meat fet, you
set your traps in the forest and you go.
Yeah, and come back when you ever set any of these traps, Mr.
No.
Williams?
I did take pictures of traps.
Yeah. Next, and the man has his hand in there very comfortably.
Distance,
yeah. Next photo, and this is our last.
Okay, this is the scrubbing board.
The joking board.
The joking board, as they call it. No washing machine.
Yes.
You soak your clothes in the tin pan.
Yes.
And then when you're ready to wash the joking board, you rub your clothes against it. Then you beat it.
I tell you, we're looking at some very important pieces of equipment and appliances in a household. This is if you're in a long time, if you didn't have this in your house, well, what you doing in life?
That's it.
Right? Your clothes can't get clean. You can't see. You don't have no cold water to offer the guests when they come. Nothing at all.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much for these photos, Mr. Williams. Y'all get this book. It's called Vintage Images of Tobago. And this is one of his books. This is his first book. And he has a co-authored book called The Disney Film Heritage of Tobago. Right? Get it. Mr. Williams, tell them where they can get your books.
At present, the Disney Film Heritage at Mount Irving Hotel for sale, and at Nelson Bookstore in the mall. The other one, Vintage Images, is sold at my stall in the market, haberdashery section. And the cost is, for the Vintage Images, that was soft cover now because the first set was sold out, the second set was sold out, and now in the third printing.
All right.
And it is $260 for the soft cover. The Disney is $300 per copy.
And I have the hardcover book here, and you have a soft cover one, which is easier to travel with, you know, guys. So if you want, get the hardcover one for the coffee table, the soft cover for, if you're taking it somewhere, right? You want to travel with it, that's a really good book to travel with. Could put in your handbag or your suitcase or wherever, give it as a gift. It's a really great book to have. Before we go, we want to talk about your next project.
Okay.
Mr. Williams, you have a project. I was trying to get him to bring some photos first, right?
The next project is a book called Moods of Tobago. Now, while visiting the Jamaican High Commission, I saw they have a book called Moods of Jamaica. And I've decided that, looking at it, I've decided to do a book on Moods of Tobago.
What is that about?
It's about dealing with the history of Tobago, the politics of Tobago, the culture of Tobago, the architecture of Tobago, the educational structure of Tobago, Tobago icons, flora and fauna, sports, and I also like to put some agriculture. Remember, sugar was king in Tobago?
Yes.
So they have a lot of things with sugar and cocoa, right, and indigo. So I'm trying to get all these things together and compile a book.
This is not the first time I've heard about this indigo. What is this? What is that?
It's a coloring they use some years ago. Used to manufacture in Black Palette of here.
Yes.
A factory.
I've heard it's a difficult shade of blue to do.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I can't explain that.
Yeah.
But when I'm going to finish researching it.
You just don't want to give us any of your secrets. Mr. Williams is very crafty. I've been trying to dig out some photos out of him for his new project, and all he's saying is, "I don't know if I have any, and I don't know. I don't know if I have any."
The thing is that people get surprised to see what is coming.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So, The Moods of Tobago is the new book you're going to be coming out with,
Yeah.
right?
That is the process of being put together.
When can we expect
I expect it anytime but
publication?
February, March next year.
Okay, February, March. I'm going to hold you to it because I want to have first look at that book, Moods of Tobago.
It also deals with some black and white images of Tobago and some color images of Tobago at present day.
Right.
And the politics I'm dealing with is that I'm dealing with the first Tobago House of Assembly back in the olden days,
Yes.
with the electoral officers that were representing the districts, and the present Tobago House Assembly that started in 1989, I think 1989, with the first chairman.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get the bio of the first chairman, all the chairmen, the chief secretaries, a bio and a background of them, with the photographs to put into the book.
Have you checked the library in the THA building?
So I'm consulting with the Assembly Legislative.
Yes.
To get I have some already that I interviewed already.
Right.
Some of the chief secretaries I interviewed already and have a bio on them. But others and the minority leaders just to compile that thing on the modern THA.
Right.
As compared to the old THA.
This is, let me tell you, this is going to be another hot number you're putting out, right? Listen, he can't even keep copies of this book. People just keep buying them like hot cakes. They're jumping off. Mr. Williams, give them your number in case they want to get on to you before we go.
Okay, my number is 753-9105. 753-9105.
Okay, well, you heard it very, straight out of Mr. Williams's mouth, what his new book project is about, what's happening, what's coming forward. And before we leave, we want to cheers to Mr. Williams on his amazing book and his upcoming book project. Thank you, Joefield Wines, and cheers to you, Mr. Williams. And as we go, listen, guys, stay dry where it's wet, take care of each other, be good to each other, be kind to yourself. And tune in next week, Wednesday again, when we speak to another local author about their book projects, about their love of the literary arts and the written word. Stay tuned as Janelle comes back and takes us into the final part of Brunch. Cheers.